Welcome to another episode of The More You Share, The More You Know. My name is Catherine Salazar and I work at the Education Service Center, Region 19 in El Paso. Today we're going to continue our discussion about making our ePortfolio on Project Share. We've talked in other segments about the various components of the ePortfolio menu, and today we're going to continue that with talking about our blog and especially our access keys. I'm on the homepage for projectsharetexas.org and I'm going to log in with my username and password in the top right corner. And then, when I get to my portal, I'm going to skip on the menu to the second item on the left called My ePortfolio, and that expands its menu. In previous shows, we've talked about the contact information. We've talked about making welcome notes. We've discussed how you can upload your pictures and video links. We've talked about making quick links available to your parents and your students. We've talked about uploading a showcase, which can be files and pictures and links. And we've talked about the news as well, how you can set a certain news item to start and end at a certain time, and that can appear on your website as well. Today, we're going to go ahead and continue that discussion and talk about our blog. Again, the blog is definitely an optional piece to your website, but it can be used for a variety of reasons. When I click on blog, you'll see different blog posts that I've made throughout the years. So here, they're always chronologically ordered so that the most recent post is at the top of the screen. On the right side, I have a trash can or a pencil. And again, I can either edit with the pencil or delete the post by clicking on the trash can. I'm going to go ahead and make a new blog entry on the right side with the button that says Add a New Entry. It will reload my page and it will ask me for my title. And that seems to be a pattern in Project Share. The titles usually are required with that red asterisk in the corner. So today, I'm going to call my blog TV Show. And I'm going to write in my box that today I am at the EPISD TV studio recording some episodes about the more you share, the more you know. At the bottom of the screen, I can choose an entry icon, and that's specific to blogs. You can basically create a little icon there that will be on the side of your blog posting. So for this one, because it's a TV show, I'm going to see if I can find something. And I do see a little TV there, so I'm going to pick that. And the other last thing that it asks me about is, am I okay with visitors commenting on my blog? So depending on your interactivity with your audience on your website, you can decide that for yourself. One of the things I tell teachers here is that if you have a daily or weekly blog, maybe your parents can follow along to see what's happening in your classroom, but also a lot of times I've seen teachers use this tool to do like more of a writing prompt to get their kids more engaged. For example, if I ask a question here about something we've been discussing in class, I will allow those comments and have my students post throughout the week, whether they're posting from home or maybe from a computer lab setting. That would be a really nice tool to integrate with your students. So now that I've written my blog, I'm going to press on Save, and it'll reload the page, and now you see it has my time and date stamp there on the left. Of course, I have 0 comments because I just posted it, and I have my little TV icon, and it talks about what I'm doing today. Now, this is just my internal view, so nobody here sees this unless I'm looking at my own blog postings. However, to preview this on your website, I'm going to click on my URL at the top. Again, it opens a separate tab for showing my public website, and on the left menu, I do have a menu item called Blog. I'm going to click on that, and then it reloads the page to show me my entire blog history, including the most recent one at the top. On the right side, it has an archive that you can even RSS subscribe to there. So anytime I post a new blog, you would automatically get that update. And then here, if you notice on each blog, you have send to a friend, add a comment, or read more. And that's if you've written a lot, they can expand that blog and see all the things that you've talked about. The nice thing here is it's a great tool for teachers to use, but again, not only can you have your students comment to yours, they can each have the requirement that you give them to blog on their own on their portal as well. So you can use this for multiple purposes in the classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and close out my tab here. I'm still on my blog menu on the ePortfolio subset, and I'm going to switch it over to access keys. Now, at first, making these shows about the ePortfolio, I really wanted to start by explaining those access keys a little more, but I think now we're going to go ahead and talk about them here and then kind of backtrack a little bit and highlight what that means for some of the other menu items we've talked in other shows about. So if you notice, every person's account always starts with the access codes for the public, for epsilen, and the institution. And we've seen those in our shows where we can decide who can see that information. Can the entire public see something? You know, just members of epsilen that have a username and password, or just limiting that to your institution, meaning the district that you're currently tied to. So here, this is the cool part about making something secret on your website. I'm going to click on the right side on Add a New Access Key, and the only two things it'll ask me for is a name and a code. So here, let's say that there's secret information you want to share with your parents. I'll name it Parents, and I can either click on Random, or I can create some characters here for a code for them. Now, depending on how secret it is, you want to make it easier or harder to guess for your students, but you can reset these in case the students find out about the code. You can definitely reassign this and just get the word out to parents that the code has changed. So just for demonstration purposes today, I'll make it 1234, but of course that's not a very secret password, so you might want to use something different. I'm going to click on Add for this access key, and the page will reload, and now it shows 4 of them. The 3 that I cannot edit or delete that are by the system, but now I have my 4th one listed at the bottom called Parents with my 1234 code. So if you ever forget your code, you can definitely click on access keys and it will immediately show you what code you have assigned, because some people use 10 or 15 codes depending on their audience needs. So here, now that I have this access key created, I'm going to click back on, for example, our welcome note, and that was in a different episode. I'm still on ePortfolio, going back, tracking to this welcome note. And now, when I make a new welcome note, I will have parents there as a 4th choice, and that was not there before. So for example, I'm going to erase the ones that I have by clicking on the trash can, and erase the other one I have, because I want to show you how you can make a public welcome note as well as a secret one for the people that have your code. So here, I'm going to click on Add a New Welcome Note, give it a quick title, and this is going to be the public one. And I don't want to show the title. So here, this should be visible by everyone. And I'll put in caps Welcome. And again, I don't have the WYSIWYG editor tools that would show up if you're using this on a PC platform, or at least not on the iPad, but right above this text box, normally people see things like to change the font, to change the color, to center it, to add images, things like that will show up for you. So it doesn't have to be just this text that I'm putting in. But now this is the key. Because I have now added a separate access key, I have parents showing up here, and that checkbox was not there in our other episodes. We were only able to select from the default options. So here, I'm going to say, because this is my public one, I'm going to say that this is visible by the public and press on Save. Click OK on that warning, and it's going to reload with my public welcome note. Now, the other one I'm going to create is that secret one just for parents. I'm going to click on Add a New Welcome Note again, have the page reload, and this one I'll call it Secret just as a visual, but I won't show that title. And here, you should only see this after typing in the access code for parents. And at the bottom, this is where it's, you have to pay attention. Because this is limited to parents, I'm going to click there. Only parents can see this, and I'm going to press on Save. It'll reload my page, and now I'm going to prove to you how this works on the other side. At the very top of the screen, going to my URL, I have a welcome note. It says this should be visible by everyone. It says welcome right there in the center. On the top right of the screen, I have my key, and it says type in your access key there. My code was 1234, and then I'll hit on go. It will reload my page and show me both the regular public one, and right underneath now it says you should only see this after typing in the access code for parents. So that's the really nice feature that you can load different things onto your website depending on your audience needs. One of the things is that you do, even though you create something secret, you're not allowed, of course, if you go by your district's AUP, you can't post specific student information. Don't post date of births or grades or anything like that. Because remember, if you give this code to all parents, again, all parents will see that. So you still don't want to release information that's going to break those rules. So here I'm going to close out of my website. I'm back on my portal, and that kind of wraps up our show today. Remember, we talked about the fact that we have a blog that we can use for multiple purposes, as well as how to indicate access keys to give certain information out to only a certain part of our audience. So thanks for tuning in to The More You Share, The More You Know, and we'll see you at our next episode.